Dr. Nilima, it's a real pleasure to have you, and I was so proud and humble to really introduce you to the August audience. Over to you, madam. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sridhar and Dr. Anand Krishnan. It's a real privilege for me here, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's indeed a great honor for me to give this preamble on the multi-regional clinical trial report and its release today, which has been organized by the OPPI and ICMR. We would really like to know, why is MRCT important? Why do we need clinical trials in different regions of the country? Well, it will give us and be able to gain global experience, and it will help accelerate the drug development process, registration, and from a public health perspective, provide access quickly and at lower cost to needy patient and benefit the patient. Then why MRCT now? MRCT is really not new. In fact, 25 years back in India was part of a multinational clinical trial for a new anti-malarial drug, important for drug-resistant malaria. Based on the results of this study, it received global approval, is part of the WHO program, and it has saved millions of lives. Then why is MRCT important today? COVID pandemic has accelerated, strengthened many aspects, as mentioned already by Dr. Sridhar and Anand Krishnan, many aspects of vaccine and drug and devices development and clinical research. As per WHO's February 2022 report, India ranks second, next to only USA, in the number of clinical trials for the WHO's R&D blueprint diseases like COVID. But there are many other unmet needs and diseases like infections due to resistant microorganisms, diseases of women and children and old age, Alzheimer's, dementia, cancer, to name but a few. Let me tell you a story of a 6-year-old boy from Nasik, a very alert researcher, in fact, surprisingly, a chemical engineer at that. He noticed that this 6-year-old boy's shirt could be buttoned from neck down, but on the abdomen and or his belly, it couldn't be buttoned because his abdomen had become simply too big. And indeed, the boy had liver enlargement, which was on account of a rare metabolic disease. Drugs for such rare diseases are being developed globally. Carrying out MRCTs for efficacy and safety testing can help early access and lowering of cost for such patients. In fact, early diagnosis and access to medicine can save this patient's life. What is the global and Indian scenario? ICH, the International Committee on Harmonization, has already developed guidelines for MRCT. Japan has taken proactive steps for early engagement of MRCTs. What about India? Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that the world is a family, is our old saying, meaning thereby, do things for general good, benefit the patients. But are we ready for MRCTs? Infrastructure for healthcare and research is being continuously upgraded in our country. Today, annually, nearly 90,000 undergraduate medical seats are being filled. There are 1.2 million registered doctors, 70,000 hospitals, 30,000 primary health centers, 150,000 sub-centers, model research units in many hospitals, multidisciplinary rural health research units of ICMR, product development centers and rational use of medicine centers of ICMR, disease registries, national institutes of ICMR, CSIR, and number of government programs, as Dr. Sridhar already mentioned. More is needed. Sorry, excuse me. We need more. It is seen that globally, there is underrepresentation in clinical trials of Asians and Africans. Harvard, USA has in fact set up an MRCT center with focus on capacity building and listening to the trial participants. It's important that clinical trials are of high quality, are reported completely, correctly, and promptly so that they contribute to evidence based future clinical trials and policy decisions. For all this, there is need for societal and patients' confidence and support. Good standard of infrastructure, trained and qualified clinical research staff, investigator, ethics committee members. While indeed, world is like a member of family, there are differences between regions. This must be understood, and all available knowledge should be shared. Approach should be patient care and safety. Paying attention to diversity, effect modifiers like genetics, culture, food habits. I need not mention here the diversity in India itself, and healthcare norms. Early consideration of all these points indeed will help and accelerate the process, which is what MRCT is trying to do. Early acceptance of all this will lead to government, drug regulators, and societal acceptance, and will indeed benefit the patient, which is what is expected, as what Anand Krishnan and Dr. Sridhar were mentioning. I hope with this preamble, uh, audience would be more than convinced about the need for MRCT and what needs to be done to make it most effective. And thank you once again for giving me this opportunity. And Dr. Somani, our drug controller, will, I'm sure, give his comments on this. Thank you all very much.